Oh my god, that was long-winded. Holy cow, can I talk? Am I blown out? If I'm blown out, I'm gonna lose my shit. The worst weather humanly possible. Today, I'm doing a what's in my camera bag style video, but it's not gonna be what's in my camera bag. It's gonna be what am I carrying right now. What I mean is that my loadout constantly changes, and I think that yours should too. If you see something sitting in your bag for a couple weeks, just put it in your drawer and see if you've run into a lot of situations where you needed it. I think you'll find that you're carrying a lot more stuff with you every day than you actually need to. At one point I was carrying a full backpack of gear with me no matter where I went. If I was going to the doctor's office, I was like, oh, I need all my gear with me because I might run into a situation where there's a good shot and then I won't have my gimbal and all my lights and my Joby tripod and what am I gonna do without all 5 lenses and oh my god. So it was becoming like a situation. So it kind of feels like hoarding in a way. It's like this situation where you feel like you need all this stuff in a professional capacity. Bring all the gear you want, but to go to 7-Eleven, you don't need your gimbal with you. It's just not, you don't. I promise you don't. And I needed to look in the mirror and say that to myself too, so don't feel bad if you're in the situation where you're carrying too much stuff with you. Another thing is that it's super trendy nowadays to say, oh, I'm a minimalist and this is my minimalist EDC carry. 10 things every photographer or filmmaker should have with them every single day. 10 things that you can't live without as a filmmaker, or 10 things that you can't live without as a filmmaker should have with them every single day. 10 things every photographer really.
Brain hurty.
I don't think that there's any hard and fast rule for what you need to have on you as a filmmaker or a photographer. I think whatever works for you, then that's what you should carry. So what I carry every day right now, I just switched from the Peak Design 10 liter everyday sling to the Moment 6 liter rugged sling. This is obviously a camera bag. It has like the dividers and the padding and all that stuff, and so is the Peak Design bag. But the reason I switched to this from the 10 liter is because the 10 liter was basically just like carrying a backpack with only one strap. Like, I bought a sling to carry less with me and I ended up carrying all the same stuff in a sling, so I just changed form factor. So it was kind of pointless. I like this because it really makes good use of the space that it does take up. There's no wasted space in this thing. It's like, it's packed with gear, especially when I have the camera in front of me in here, and like, there's a microphone and a tripod in front of me that obviously aren't in this thing. The tripod goes on the bottom, the body goes down the center, and then the 2 lenses go on the sides, and all the accessories go up top and the back. First up, which isn't in the bag, but normally it is this little guy right here. This is the Wii Light, RGB Light. You can get these on Amazon for like 50 bucks, I think. I originally bought this thing because I saw an ad for like a Lume Cube and I wanted something similar, but I didn't want to pay the money that Lume Cube was asking for, especially for a non-RGB light. There's a lot of companies that make these things and they're awesome. There's all sorts of different ones out there, and I haven't found one that I haven't liked. The Pixel G1S is a good one. The Falcon Eyes is a good one. The Wii Light is a good one. It's just a super useful thing to have. It's super versatile, so you can get like a police light or a television flash or like lightning, and it's just a good thing to have. It may seem like a strange thing to carry with you every single day, especially if you're trying to do like a minimalist setup, but carry one with you and see how much you use it, for real, because I use this thing literally every single day. Cleaning stuff. We got the camera pen, the lens pen thing, the brush, but it also has a built-in spray bottle with like spray in it, like lens spray. Obviously you should carry these things. I shouldn't have to tell you why, but it's really cool to have this 2-in-1 jammy. And normally in my backpack I carry like 70 of these, but I forced myself to only carry a couple in this bag. These ones are really good because they're big and they're sturdy feeling. They're not like flimsy like those shitty glasses ones. Next on the list is the Freewell variable ND filter. I just did a review of this, which will pop up right here. I really like this ND filter because it's dark as hell. It's 6 to 9 stops of light reduction. I also just ordered the 2 to 5 stop because I do find myself in situations where this is way too dark. I don't always want to close my aperture or bump the ISO up. Sometimes I just want to have complete control over everything because I'm a jerk off like that. They also make a mist edition of these, so it has like that glowy light thing where it looks like there's fog over everything. Freewell is an awesome company because these filters are every bit as good as the Polarpro ones, but they're half the price. So if you hate wasting money on name brand stuff, get the Freewell ones because they're awesome. I haven't had any issues with this at all. This thing, memory card slot holder, memory card holder. This is a waterproof SD card holder. It's awesome because not only does it hold SD cards, but underneath the SD card slots, there's these little micro SD card slots. So you can carry a total of 12 SD cards and 24 micro SD cards. It's good to have a waterproof case for your memory cards because if you're done shooting at the end of the day and you have like 10 memory cards worth of a wedding or something like that, you just want it to be protected. So get one of these, they're awesome. Next on the list, extra batteries. Obviously, extra batteries. One trick I did learn, put the contact points up if they're full and down if they need to be charged, and you'll always know at a glance what your batteries are doing. A lot of times, just like everybody else, I'll pull one out, pop it in the, it's dead. Oh, awesome, it's dead. I gotta friggin' go back through everything. Just put the prongs up if they're charged, down if they're not charged. The big boys on the list. Sigma I-Series 65mm prime lens. It looks like a cine lens because it has like those real deep grooves on the focus ring and the aperture ring. I love this lens so much. It's like the best lens ever. I haven't done a review of it yet, but I'm going to very soon. I bought this and the 35mm version of this lens, which is on the camera right now doing this talking head part, and they're both amazing lenses. What I really like about them is they're all metal, but they're still tiny and super light, and I can throw them on the gimbal and not really worry if it's perfectly balanced. It's still gonna be able to balance this. Now, unlike that one, this one, I need to make sure the gimbal is balanced because it's a little bit bigger. It's actually deceptively light for how big it is, and the image quality is just incredible. I love this lens. I use it so much more than I thought I would. When I first bought a macro lens, I thought to myself like, are you really gonna use a macro lens all that often? You spent $1,000 on a lens that you're only gonna use once in a while. What are you, crazy? But I actually use it a lot. Like, it's great for portraits. It's good for video because it's stabilized. It's actually really light, and it's just a great all-around lens. I really like this lens. So other than that, that's everything in the bag. I think that's everything. Is that everything? I hope it's everything. Yeah, that's everything. At the moment, 6-liter bag is an awesome, minimal amount of stuff bag to carry with you every single day as a filmmaker or photographer. If I were to sacrifice carrying 3 lenses for carrying 2 lenses, I could carry other stuff with me, and I already carry a tripod under this thing, so I do have some capability to carry more gear. You could also buy one of those slinger lens cases that go like on the strap so that you have an extra lens in there if you wanted to carry even more with it. But in my opinion, the whole point of a small sling bag like this is to just carry the bare minimum amount of gear that you need for that day. So, but anyway, I've been yammering on all night. Oh my God, this thing took so long to record for some reason. My lights are dying, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Not Sam Has a Spending Problem. We'll call this one Gear Talk. Does that sound good? That sounds like a car channel or something. Just call it Sam Talks About Stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye!